Hey Facebook, thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about puppy scams. This is something we want to do. We want to come to you, bring you tips about any scam that's going on in the area. And we thought this scam would just be the most fun, so we thought it'd be great to kick this off with our live broadcast. So I'm not sure if any of y'all know about the puppy scam, but we want to tell you about it. So this is how the scam works. Everyone's in looking for a puppy, and so where do you go first? Of course, you go online. Whether it be a breeder site or Craigslist, you're looking online, looking for a puppy, and what happens? You come across this picture of a beautiful puppy, and you said, oh my goodness, this has got to be a part of my family. I have to have this dog. I have to have this puppy. So you contact the breeder or the person on Craigslist, and of course they let you know that this puppy's still available. And so you're so excited. You're like, okay, well, what do I need to do? And they said, well, this puppy is, $1,000. And you said, well, okay, a lot of times puppies are $1,000. So you send the money, wired it over, and then you don't get a puppy. 3 weeks comes by and nothing happens. So you send an email and they respond to you back and they said, oh, your dog is sick or your puppy's sick, and we don't have the money to pay for it, and we need you to pay for it. So of course, you think this dog is mine, it's a part of my family already, and you send money over. A couple weeks go by, and once again, you don't hear anything, and you don't have a puppy, so you reach out. Finally, you get in touch with the breeder, and they say, okay, we're ready to go. Now it's just travel fees, and we weren't expecting this at first, but we need extra money to get your dog to you. Finally, you're going to get your dog, and you're saying, okay, well, finally, this is the last time I'll send money, but I'm going to get my dog. 3 weeks, 4 weeks roll around, and you still don't have a dog, and the breeder is nowhere to be contacted. You can't get a hold of them for anything. And so that's a really common puppy scam. It's something that we've been hearing about a lot. We actually had a consumer reach out to us saying that this had happened to them and that they had lost $5,000. So this is happening in our area. It's something to be aware of. We don't want any of our consumers being taken, and of course, we don't want any puppies being harmed in the process. So I do have some tips for you on how to avoid a puppy scam. The first one is always visit the breeder. If you go and visit the breeder, it's a legitimate breeder. It's not someone who is just trying to scam money by using a cute puppy picture. That's something that we don't want. So always visit the breeder. The second tip I have for you is search for website warning signs. If you see a listing, copy and paste that and put it into Google and see if another page comes up. Because oftentimes scammers will copy something from a legitimate website and put it in so that it makes it seem more realistic. The third one is pick your puppy up from the kennel. If you can do it yourself, go get your puppy. That's the problem, is a lot of times people want them shipped to them, and that's kind of where you run into the scam thing is, if you go pick up your puppy, then it's a real deal. The fourth tip I have for you is ask for references. A legitimate puppy breeder or a legitimate shelter is going to have references, and they'll be more than happy to provide those for you. So that's the fourth tip I have for you. The fifth one is if you are going to do something online, pay with a credit card. If you wire money, that is the #1 red flag for all scams. Wiring money is the same thing as sending cash. So if you send cash and they take it, then it's gone for. But if you pay with a credit card, you do have some fraud protection. So that would be another tip if you do decide to get a dog online. And the last tip I have for you, of course, is to shop local. While there are dogs online, and you can, of course, get them, there are plenty of dogs in local shelters and local animal centers that need homes and need to go to a loving family. So that's our last tip for you today. And I do have some guests. So the first one I'm going to bring in is Megan Adcock. She's from the Franklin County Humane Society, which is in our 33-county area. So Megan, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I do have a couple questions because Megan has dealt with these puppy scams for a while now, and she's been through it all, so she's a perfect expert to ask. So I guess the first question is, can you give us some of your personal experiences with puppy scams?
Yes, so we have volunteers, and they will actually go and watch Craigslist for postings and things that look really shady, and we will actually respond to those asking. We'll see all the time people will say, oh, I have this puppy, I can't keep it, I'm moving, or it's not doing good with my kid, I need to rehome it. And then you can get on there and ask them, say, hey, what about, if we take it into our program and foster it, we screen people and do vet checks. And then we get an email back saying that they want us to pay for the puppy and we should wire them some money. So that's one of the main experiences we've had with that.
Yeah, just like I said, guys, you have to be careful with anyone asking you to wire money. It is a huge red flag, and that goes for anything, not necessarily just puppy scams. So I have another question. So we've heard a lot about puppy flipping, but I'm not sure a lot of consumers are really aware of what that is. If you give us some background on what puppy flipping is.
Yes, so one thing about puppy flipping is where people usually find dogs for cheap or free, whether they go to a shelter or whether they go on Craigslist and find free dogs anywhere. They will take the dogs and they'll turn them around and they'll try to sell them to make a profit.
See, that's not something that we want. So like I said, guys, try to use someone who's legitimate, like go to a breeder's, visit them in person. That's really important. And so how often do you really come across these scams?
It used to be every couple of weeks, but now we're seeing it all the time, weekly, maybe twice a week. We see them, and a lot of times we don't even go searching for it. It just kind of pops up and somebody will tell us about it and we'll investigate.
Yeah, that's something, like I said, we had one consumer reach out and $5,000 was gone. So we don't want this to happen to you. So please use those tips, be aware that this is happening and that you have to be kind of in the know before you get taken by it. So what are some ways that you and Franklin County Humane Society are trying to combat them? I know you touched on it earlier.
Yeah, so a lot of the big problems we're seeing is people will try to get dogs from the shelter because one of our local shelters only charges $25 and you can get any dog you want. So we've actually seen people take dogs from the shelter and turn around and try to sell them for money. So we're working on talking to the shelter and trying to get them to screen their applicants to make sure they know where the dogs are going. Because if they screen the applicants, they'll have a better chance of not putting them in harm's way where they're going to be flipped.
That's great. So I gave our viewers a couple tips earlier. Do you have any other tips that you think would help them?
I think that you should always meet the person, like in person, and not pay on the internet. You should always go local, whether you go to a shelter or go to a rescue. You know that you're not going to get thrown for a loop if you do that. So I think that's probably the best way to go, but definitely meet the person in person. That way you know who you're talking to and who you're giving the money to and what puppy you're actually purchasing.
Yeah, we think it's really important to shop local, and like I said, there are plenty of dogs right around the corner that need homes, and I'm sure there are loving families out there, and I'm sure a bunch of viewers are just looking for a dog, so of course shop local, that's definitely what we want. So tell us a little bit about Franklin County Humane Society.
Okay, so we are a 501c3 nonprofit rescue. That means we don't get anything to fund our rescue other than donations from the public, and we rely on that a lot. We are all foster homes. A lot of people get us confused with the shelter. We're not a county shelter. We don't euthanize. We actually take the dogs from the shelter, we vet them and get them spayed and neutered. We microchip them in case they're ever lost since they're adopted. And then we put them into our homes. So they actually live with us and we get to know the dog and we're able to tell people wanting to adopt the dog all about the dog.
That's great, that's great. And now we know that Franklin County Humane Society obviously fosters dogs. Are there any other animals?
Yes, we also have kitty cats, lots of kitty cats. We have a cat team and a dog team. Our cat team does the same thing. They pull the cats from the shelter, fully vet them, take them into their homes until they're adopted.
And now how is this adoption process, like how does it go?
So what happens is if you're interested in adopting one of our animals, you go online to www.schsnc.org and then you fill out an application to adopt. We ask for 2 personal references and a vet reference, and then we screen the application, and once that's done, we contact the person so that way we can go and do a home visit. And then once all checks out, we go through with the adoption process, sign the contract, and give them a fully healthy dog.
That's awesome. And
Or a cat.
Or a cat. We don't want to leave those out. And just so y'all just to make sure that y'all heard that, we have some other furry friends that we'll get to in a second, but Megan said it was fchsnc.org, so I really want to make sure that's out there. How much does it cost for this process?
Okay, so for a fully grown dog, it's $225. For a puppy, it's $250, and the puppies even come fully vetted. Even if they're adopted out before they're able to be spayed and neutered, we still spay and neuter them. We just have the adopter take them to our vet, and we pay for all that. The cats are $95, and they come fully vetted, and they also have some senior cats that are on special for $50.
Senior cat's $50. I mean, you can't get better than that. But I think that's really important. Like these dogs, they already have, they're already spayed and neutered, they already have their microchip, so that's really important. You don't have those expenses, and it's only $225. I think a lot of families would be able to do that. And I think this is important. important question. So y'all are out of Franklin County. Do you have to live in Franklin County to adopt from y'all's Humane Society?
No, you do not. We adopt out everywhere. We've sent a dog to Texas before, Kansas. We send them all over. It's just a matter of once we have an approved applicant, we have to find a way to transport the dog, whether the person wants to come and get it or we work out some sort of transport. And we have other people, we have connections in other states where we can have other residents go out and do home visits for us before the adoption. So it's no problem. They can adopt from anywhere.
So anywhere. So if you're listening, wherever you are, you can definitely adopt from FCHS, which is awesome. Now, you know, a lot of times people, they can't have a dog at their house or a cat and they're not able to adopt, but what are some other ways that they can help?
They can come out to events. We have events on the weekends at local pet stores, and they can hold a dog for us, or they can come out and visit with the kitties at the pet stores and help talk about them and get them adopted. You can also foster. If you decide to foster, we pay for all the medical, we pay for the food, we pay for everything. You just pretty much take them into your home and give them love until they're adopted. So that's definitely a great way. And you can also donate as well. So those are some great ways to help.
Yeah, donations are always great. And I guess another important event is your next adoption event. I'm sure you've had a lot of those.
Yeah, our next adoption event is actually going to be, we're going to have 2 this weekend. So this Saturday, Petco Nightdale, we're going to have dogs and cats from 1 to 4. And then PetSmart in Wake Forest, we're going to have dogs from 1 to 4 there as well. So come out and see us.
Yeah, so Petco in Nightdale, 1 to 4 this Saturday. PetSmart in Wake Forest, 1 to 4 this Saturday. So please come out, see all these dogs, and I'm sure you've been able to tell already, but we did bring some extra visitors and extra furry friends. So we're going to introduce you to all these wonderful dogs. So we'll start over here, and Megan's going to give a little background on each of them.
Okay, so this right here, this is Miss Summer. She came from Wake County Animal Shelter where she was rescue only because she was fearful. As you can see, she's not really fearful anymore. She's more curious and wanting to wander around. She's a 2-year-old Siberian Husky. She's looking for a home that has a 6-foot fence so she can go outside and play and then come inside and relax on her dog bed. She's really sweet. Probably would do better with no cats, but she's got a lot to learn too, so someone that would like to do training with her would be great.
Yeah. And Summer.
I love you, Summer.
Yeah, just to know, Summer's a purebred, right?
Yes, she is a purebred Siberian Husky.
Yeah, so that's really rare to have a purebred, and like I said, guys, it's $225.
Yes.
So I mean, and it's a dog that needs a home. So
yes.
What about this guy over here?
This right here is Mr. Kenai. He has a brother we'll get to in a minute. Kenai is a Husky Shepherd mix, and he was abandoned with his brother, and he is heartworm positive, but we are treating him for that. He does well with other dogs, and he's really sweet and submissive. He likes to roll over for belly rubs sometimes, but he loves attention.
Okay, and who do we have over here?
This is George. He's my foster. He's a senior walker hound, and he likes to sniff things, so he's choking himself right now. He is really, really sweet. He got his name because he's curious, like Curious George. And he likes to chill and eat snacks and sleep a lot. And he does like to hang out and frolic in the backyard. But he really is, he'd be a great companion for like an older person that just wants someone to hang out with them. And so that's George in a nutshell.
Oh, we're choking your George is so cute. Okay, who do we have over here?
Okay, so this is Miss Maya. She's very well behaved. She's 7 years old. She's an Akita Husky mix. And she was abandoned at the shelter because her owners were moving. She's very well trained. She's house trained. She loves to lay around in the house, but don't let her fool you because she has a playful side as well. She loves to just get up and play with toys and run around. But she's mostly calm, and she knows a few things. Sometimes she'll give me her paw. You can give me your paw, Maya. She likes belly rubs. That's what she loves. She loves belly rubs, so she'll do that all day long as you rub her belly.
Now, who's this tough guy over here?
So this is Levi. He's another one of our FCHS dogs, and he likes to give hugs.
Give me a hug.
He's about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and he's a very calm dog, but he does like to run around the backyard and play with my female fosters. He doesn't really like big males, but he loves the females, and he's fine with my smaller male. And he's really, really loving. He just likes to be with this person. He'll like follow me around, give me hugs. This is my boyfriend, he loves him too. And so he's a great, wonderful dog, and he's beautiful, as you can see.
And how old is Levi?
We estimate 3 to 5 years old.
5, so he's still young.
And he is heartworm positive, but he'll also be treated for it as well.
Yeah, that's another thing. FCHS does have some heartworm positive dogs, but they handle the treatment, so that's something that you don't have to worry about. And you know, heartworm positive, please don't be scared by that at all. It is something that can be taken care of. And like I said,
Not contagious to other dogs.
yeah, not contagious, and they'll take care of it as far as, you know, the cost financially. And who's this over here?
This is Phoebe. We actually got her offline. It wasn't from a puppy flipping situation, but she was a stray that wandered up to someone's home and ended up getting pregnant by the woman's neutered male. And she was trying to sell them online for $20, hoping to find good homes. And you know, $20 just doesn't cut it. Like, anyone can pay $20 for a dog and do whatever they want with them. So we told her, you know, we'll take mama, we'll take the puppies, you know, but we have to have them all. And they wanted to do right by the litter and by the mama. And so she's with me, her and her babies. And it seems very common that the moms are heartworm positive, so she's also heartworm positive. But she's only about 1 or 2 years old, and she's, you know, a baby with babies. But the babies are almost big enough. I would have brought some today. They're almost big enough to be outside on their own. They haven't had their second BHPP shot yet. But she's a sweetheart, and she will make any family very, very happy.
Yeah, she seems
As you can see.
Yeah, she seems like a good cuddler. That's something that I definitely look for.
Very loving.
And we have one final dog. He definitely, you've been able to tell that he's been here, but he is just the biggest fur ball. Who's this?
This is Mr. Olaf. He's only 1.5 years old, so he's a white shepherd husky mix. He is also Kenai's brother that we've seen at the beginning. He and Kenai are a bonded pair, and they're up for adoption together. They come fully vetted for $400 as a pair, and they absolutely love each other, so we don't want to separate them. And this one right here is extremely playful, very verbal. He will let you know when he wants something. He knows how to sit, and he'll give you his paw. So he's just a big love bug, as well as his brother.
Yes, it's just the cutest thing, and he's just so cuddly, so you just can't get enough of Olaf here.
Yes, buddy. He loves kids as well, so if you have kids, he would love that.
So that's really important, guys, and you know, like I said, FCHS, NC.org, this is where you can see all these dogs up there. They're up for adoption, as well as many other dogs. Of course, we have cats. And these puppy scams, like I said, please just be on the lookout. You know, use the tips that we give you today, because you know, we don't want any more of these dogs, you know, being the victims of them, or just, you know, anything happening to consumers as well. So, you know, thanks for joining us today. We'll be going live soon, and also we'll be broadcasting this in Spanish as well. So if you want to go see that, go to our Spanish page, and we'll be up there soon. So thanks, guys.